Hey guys, got a new tool I wanted to share with you guys, the SkyRC diff analyzer. This was something that I wasn't sure I would actually believe in, and last night I was sure I wasn't going to believe in it, but I'll explain that in a minute. But I wanted to share it with you guys because I like it now, and I think it's something that will come in handy. It does come with the wire to plug into 5 volt, 2 amp max, I believe it was. I just found a Roku. I think it's an old Roku power power plug that I'm going to use. I would suggest whatever you use, make sure it's 5 volt, 1 amp, or 2 amp, and then I would stick with that. I wouldn't adjust the power to it. I haven't verified that it'll change your readings, but just to keep everything the same, I would make sure the voltage and amperage is always the same going to it. I can show you real quick how it works. I put this sticker back here because these two sides look identical. So you'll be holding it thinking you're going to see a number, and you don't, and then you got to flip it over after you've already got everything in your hand. So anything you want to put back there just to mark it, and make sure you're always on the right side. So you can see the screen here. And usually when there's nothing there, you're in the mid 50s, but you can see when I touch it, you can hear it too. So let's grab the 5000 diff here. Hopefully you guys seen that. Let me do it again. I didn't even look at the screen to make sure you guys could see it. So you can see it hopping around 378, 382, 381, 379. So I would just call that a 380, and that's what I ended up marking on my notes. But I had all these diffs rebuilt, trying to just have stuff ready to go to the peach state in about a week. I'm just trying to get everything around. So when I got it, I thought, well, I'll just go through all my diffs and get a reading and write it down, and it should just be boom, boom, down the line. Whatever the numeric value is, which this isn't registered in PSI or any other thing. It's just your number for that diff. Not sure what the number actually represents other than just to give you, how much resistance there is, I guess. So we'll just call it resistance. So I wrote down the resistance for the diffs, and what I end up with is 5K was 370, 7K was 450, 8K 485, 10K 580. And all that's fine and it all makes sense, but last night at first my 7K was harder or had more resistance than my 8, which I understand they're close, but there's no way the 7 should be more. So I was losing my mind thinking the tool ain't right, something ain't right, because there's no way my diffs are wrong. Well, I was wrong. I rebuilt the 8K. I took it apart. Everything was fresh because I knew I had just rebuilt it, but I put it back together, went through a whole rebuild, made sure I put 8 in it, got the same reading. So I'm like, okay. So I did the 7, and when I opened the 7, even though the diff, I must have cleaned the exterior at some point in time, the inside was pure charcoal colored mud. So I went ahead and rebuilt the 7K, put it back together, then the numbers made sense, and then everything made sense. I even went through some of the diffs on the cars. The thing is it comes with this adapter, 7mm, for your 10th scale stuff. Looks like you could put a cross pin in there for a smaller dog bone also. 8 scale, 17mm. This is actually aluminum, but it was just too tight on my nuts, or on the wheel nuts. So when you would put it on there, when you would put it on, it would kind of wobble. So I don't think I'm gonna use that. And I don't you obviously want to hold the spur and lock the drivetrain so you're just checking the diff. You're not spinning the whole thing. But I'm still running through the bearings in the hub, on both hubs actually, which the bearings are, it's super free, but still, I don't know. I just trust it going this route. I guess in an emergency or something, if you needed to, you could check it that way. And I did. And the numbers were very close, but either way will work. Quick interruption, guys. That 8 scale adapter that I talked about, this right here, for the wheel nuts, this is actually sold separately. I think it's like $8. I bought it. So, like I said in the video, not sure I'll use it, but it is sold separately. Just want to make sure if you guys get this and you own the package, you're not wondering where this is. So, sold separately. Just want to let you guys know. I just know this is super accurate and there's nothing else in line with it. So After I got that all figured out, wrote the numbers down, and then split the difference. 5K to 7K was 80 resistance difference. 7 to 8 was 35. And then going from 8 to 10 was 95, was the number of resistance, the difference. So it all made sense. So I'm thinking that it works. It seems to. If you would have seen me yesterday for hours messing around, rebuilding diffs, checking in cars, out of car, pulling diffs out of the car, checking a 10 against another 10, a 7 against another 7. So I like it, and I'm going to carry it with me. Some of the No Pro team guys, we got a group of us going to Georgia, so I'll let them mess with it. I know the Professor Rinky will probably have it for a couple hours himself. So it's a good tool. Like I said, I think I might have mentioned this is like 70, 80 bucks. The associated one I think is 100. But I think it's a good tool. I want to share it with you guys and show you. And you know, I'm no pro. That's what I do with that, and I think it'll be a helpful tool, and maybe it'll help you guys. So, all right, that's all I got. Thanks, guys.